Now.
We is live.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, the brilliant thing about this is I didn't even name my fucking things. What a novelty. Right, okay. Everyone happy? Tweet it out.
1 second.
Okay. I'll retweet.
I-spaced.
Right, I've done that. All right,
MySpace/Xbox Tavern.
going up on what was it? Fucking Pinterest.
Oh, don't. I've got to look at that for work.
Tumblr.
Yeah.
Oh, Tumblr.
Pinterest
That was
is
the other
still
one I was
going. And Bebo.
4chan. That's the one you want to be on.
4chan. I don't think we want to be on 4chan, do we?
That's where you made it.
You've made it somewhere if you end up at 4chan.
Yeah, that is true.
Right.
Okay.
Done.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to hit the intro. Right, you ready?
Ready.
Okay. Oh, God, hopefully this doesn't cut out. Ian, are you recording?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to hit intro in 3, 2, go record now.
Hello. Welcome to Xbox Tavern's podcast, episode 6. It's another lovely weekend. We're a few days late this weekend. We had to shift things around, but we're still coming here with the hot, spicy takes and great news and all that gubbins. So, joining me once again, we've got Daniel.
Hello.
Graham.
Hello.
And Ian.
Hello.
Gentlemen, have we had a nice weekend? Ian, how's your weekend been?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you very much. Quite relaxing. Nothing.
So-
Can't really do much, can you?
This is true. Still stuck inside. Oh, I did get to see you very briefly earlier on, though.
We did.
Very
From
briefly.
from the balcony, like Romeo and Juliet.
I was going to say it was like something out of Shakespeare's play.
Nice.
Graham, you all right?
Yeah, doing all right. All good.
Good. Man of many words.
Yeah. I'll save it for the rest of it.
And Dan?
I'm good. I'm plodding along and happy. I've had my mother visit me, which was fun.
It's always exciting.
Well, yeah, it does interfere with some gaming, but we won't talk about that too much.
Fair enough. All right. So let's get straight into it today. So we'll just do a quick bit of housekeeping. Firstly, thank you for listening or watching if you're doing so right now. And hello. We try to do this once a week. We're still sort of figuring out scheduling. So for the time being, it'll move around a little bit, but we're hoping to get it locked down shortly. Obviously, we've got the website, xboxtavern.com, where all of our reviews and articles go up, and as well as like an archive of everything we do across the Xbox Tavern brand. They've got the YouTube channel, which is where the archive of this will be up live. And we also stream on Twitch at least once a week, either with the podcast or with just playing some Apex or any sort of any game that takes our fancy, really. Obviously, if you're listening on podcast services, if you can do the honors and give us the old 5 stars and thumbs up and review and whatever else your app of choice lets you do, please give it the maximum you can for our, if not for me, then for Ian, because look how much happier it would make him if you reviewed and rated us nicely. Double thumbs up. In December, we will be dropping a video every week on our YouTube channel. So head over there to the Xbox Tavern. Hang on, let me get that right. YouTube.com Xbox Tavern Official.
Yes, that took me ages to find that.
And that's where we'll be dropping videos. And hopefully going forward, we've got a few more members of the team now who will be contributing to video things. So hopefully come the new year, we'll start getting a bit more of a regular schedule and a bit more regular varied content, not just reviews, but all sorts of stuff across the board. So that's sort of the general gist of the housekeeping out the way. Let's get straight into it. So we've got a few topics to go through this evening. I think I want to start with, let's go with probably the big Game Pass news of this week. So there was quite a few additions that have been put in and that are coming pretty soon. But probably one of the bigger ones is Control. Has anybody played Control before now?
I have.
And would you say it was worth giving a go in Game Pass, Ian?
100%. Definitely. I loved it. It was so good. Like chef kiss good.
Salt base.
So what if you had to give us a quick 2-minute review, what would your thoughts be on it, and why you'd recommend it to someone?
I guess it's just a good, fun gameplay. You know, quite a confusing but gripping storyline, which is always fun. And I'm not gonna. I had one little thing I didn't like, but I don't want to spoil it for you, so I won't say it. But apart from that, it was like literally like I had so much fun with it. I literally played it non-stop. It's one of those ones where you just pick up just one more mission, just one more bit, just one more location, and it's just I really enjoyed it, and I do definitely recommend, definitely.
Especially
It's one of the ones for Game Pass, like this is the bombshell. You need to play it.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the biggest add to Game Pass since Doom Eternal. When was that? The end of October, was it?
Yeah, Doom Eternal. Yeah.
So yes, that's probably the biggest one.
Worst kept secret as well in gaming news, wasn't it? Because didn't Phil Spencer mention this how many months back?
It was at the beginning of the year, I think. He sort of offhandedly mentioned it when it comes to Game Pass, and then they had to tweet out saying, "No, it's not coming to Game Pass. No. He's, no." And then
like a year and a bit later. Which now everyone thinks that a game come out a year later, just wait a year. It's like, yeah, you're really gonna wait a year to play a game.
Yeah, especially for something that got so critically, well regarded and well received as Control. I mean, I haven't played. I saw Graham say you didn't have played. Dan, have you played it?
I haven't. It's a game I want to get into. Unfortunately, we're in this the period where you've got Valhalla, Cyberpunk round the corner. Obviously,
you beat me to it.
So many games coming out. It's I can't jump into it just yet.
Yeah, I had to go on the at an event very briefly on the PC, and then I had to go on the Switch because it come out as one of their streaming games. So it was basically the high end PC version, but streaming to the Switch. But it ran pretty terribly as far as I'm concerned. So I didn't. It was only the first 10 minutes I think that were available. I'm not really a big Remedy fan. I know they get a lot of praise and a lot of love for like Alan Wake and all that, but I've never really stuck in with any of their games. I can see Graham shaking his head there. What's your thoughts on Alan Wake?
Alan Wake. It's one of those games I just had to play through, but it was just ridiculous. A man and his torch.
What? No, it was a good game for its time. Like, you look at it now. But back then it was awesome.
Yeah, I thought Alan Wake was really good. Is it set in the same universe, or as you go through the game, they do mention a lot about Alan Wake as you're going through all the PC?
Yeah, he's quite a big in the latest DLC. He's quite a big part of it.
Oh.
Isn't that the AWE DLC?
Yeah,
the Alan Wake experience. Well, yeah.
Altered World Experience. That's it. Altered World Experience. AWE.
I think they
so good.
I think Alan Wake is kind of like or Remedy perhaps, but definitely Alan Wake is kind of like a Marmite game, because I played it and I couldn't stand it. Graham obviously has just given his opinion, whereas
it was all right. I played it through. I completed it, but it was just
I didn't.
A man and his torch.
I
thought it was good.
Yeah, but I seem to hear the same thing. Across all the shows I listen to, and that you get half the panel really loved it, and half the panel just can't stand it, or like was bored by it, or don't see what the fuss was about. So it seems to be maybe one because it's on Game Pass, I think, isn't it, Alan Wake?
It is.
Yes.
So maybe one day, once I've got round to Full Spectrum Mario, I might play some Alan Wake at last. Maybe, perhaps. So obviously, so again, don't start him. So Gears of War is awesome. I love Gears of War. So obviously, other than Control, we got Rage 2, which comes to the PC, and Doom Eternal, which is finally coming to the PC. What else have we got?
There's like 17 games they dropped, wasn't it?
I'm just having a look through that image and that they put up. They've got Super Hot Mind Control Delete, which is the spin-off DLC. Is that right? So it's kind of like a reimagining of the game or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I think one of our old reviewers did it for us, and he really got on with it really well. Gang Beasts, the ever popular Gang Beasts. It's good fun at events, but I'm not.
Yeah,
so sure
solo's been like, a bit bored.
Once we got,
it's still at the events. It's never going to leave the events.
Yeah. But you remember when we played it at Res, and there was was it three of us, or was Pete there as well?
Which
When
one?
we-
One 3
Which
years
one?
ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago.
When we were playing
I
those,
mean, all of
that,
them.
that bunch of there was about 12 young lads, and we played them and smashed them, and then I think one of them ended up hanging on right to the end and beating us all. Do you remember
Yeah.
those young lads?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
the
Hanging on for
rude
dear
boys
life.
as they were. Yeah. Valhalla. I don't know if anyone's seen anything about that. That sort of cyberpunk bartending action.
Oh yeah.
That
Spin off
looks weird.
It's a bit like
Mm.
Coffee Talk, isn't it? Where you have to
Yeah.
make drinks.
Yeah, but a bit more adult and a bit more cyberpunky. You know, because there's nothing else cyberpunky coming out anytime soon. So, yeah, apparently it's been getting really good sort of opinions and reviews. So I'm not sure. I can't see the exact date, but it's coming out soon if it's not already out. And then you've got Haven as well, which I've actually been playing this week for review. But we'll get into that later on. But spoiler, it's quite good. It's quite good. All right. Anything else you want to discuss about the Game Pass? Any of those other titles catch your eye?
Control was the only one for me.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's definitely the best ad in quite some time, other than Doom Eternal. And considering how Marmite the rest of their games are, perhaps it will go the other way, and perhaps I'll enjoy that, and then other people won't. Yeah, who knows? All right, so let's go to what about BioWare? Have you guys seen this about the recent departures?
It's an interesting one, this one, isn't it? It's two of their,
I was honestly surprised.
two of their
I
bigger
don't know why I
guys.
was.
Yeah, who's gone? I heard a little thing, but I saw a tweet about it, but I never really paid attention to it.
So basically, Casey Hudson, who was the sort of like the overall bigwig for the Mass Effect trilogy, the original trilogy, he left shortly after it was finished. He went to Microsoft to work on HoloLens.
Oh,
And then
okay.
he came back to BioWare in 2017
Yeah.
to help them sort of steer the ship to get like Anthem back on track and Mass Effect back on track and stuff. And obviously they've just announced the trilogy remaster, which is coming out next year. And at the same time, they teased the new Mass Effect title, which he put a massive blog post up about how excited he was and all that. And then 2 days ago, he announced he's left BioWare. And as has Mark
Tahar.
That's it, Mark Navarro, who was the same kind of guy as Casey was for Mass Effect for Dragon Age. So two of their sort of big names and big producers have up to left when their franchises are kind of in the not in the best places they could be. So I just wondered if anyone had any thoughts on why they might have gone or what this might mean for Mass Effect and Dragon Age. Gray, do you want to have a thought of, gives you your immediate hot takes?
Well, I mean, have they even said anything about the next Dragon Age? I mean, that's been a long time waiting for a new one.
They gave us a teaser trailer at the Game Awards 2018, and they've said they're doing another trailer this year, which is next Thursday for the next Game Awards. But they haven't really shown anything more than just like pre-rendered CGI. Yeah, pretty much.
No, well, I mean, Dragon Age and Mass Effect already has a large percentage of take my money people, regardless of what they spit out. I know Andromeda did a little bit of damage because not everyone loved that part of Mass Effect, but I still think if another Dragon Age comes out, if another Mass Effect comes out, it's still going to have a whole lot of interest.
Yeah, so I think it's still going to be continuing regardless. Like, yeah, they're two big, we'll call it big wigs have left, but A, there must be a reason why it's happened. And B, I don't think it's going to change anything. It's still going to go on as normal.
Yeah,
still going to happen.
Well, they say they reckon it's part of the EA effect, kind of coming into EA a bit like Activision did. They're kind of carving out the old blood and making sure that their people are running the franchises.
Steering the ship, making sure it's getting about microtransactions.
Yeah, I was about to say, are they going to inject loot boxes into them?
Exactly. You'll be able to do different shepherd hair. There's also, from that tweet, I think there was also something that said there's a new startup company that has come through, and I can't think of the name. I want to say it's something like Shapeshifters or something Studios, that a few of the old BioWare employees have started up. So potentially we'll see maybe them going across to this studio?
It could be. It could be
Mm.
because I mean the.
Make
as
their
I
own
said, like,
studio? Do you think?
Well,
Or-
yeah, starting up something of their own, really. As Dan said, like if they go and join that studio that's sort of splintered off of BioWare,
yeah.
they could
yeah, true.
bring back the magic, perhaps. But yeah, as one of our friends said the other day, but a lot of the people at BioWare that made Mass Effect and Dragon Age, what it was, they've long moved on, or have probably been beaten into submission by EA, and
Yeah.
they're fit me a bloody loot box into my Mass Effect. I want Shepard to land on a planet and be rife with microtransactions, please. And yeah, it's gonna be
Interesting.
It's surprising. It's like I said, because he's only in the relative grand scheme of things, don't just come back. And he just announced a new one, and then he went, actually, there's a new one coming, and I'm off. Bye, have fun. Bye, toodles. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they show on Thursday now, with Dragon Age, to see whether it be a more full.
It's going to be another.
trailer.
It's going to be another.
If they do another teaser trailer,
That's it.
2 years after they done the first teaser trailer, then I think
I guarantee it's going to be another teaser, no gameplay, nothing. It's going to be like, Dragon Age is still coming.
Yeah, don't forget about Dragon Age. Did any of you? I forget where we were. I know Pete loves Dragon Age Inquisition. Did any of you enjoy Inquisition at all?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was a great playthrough.
I can't remember which one I liked more.
I got bored of it quite quickly.
No,
Spent too much talking.
I think the later one I wasn't keen on, but the Dragon Age previous, I much preferred.
Pete loved it. Yeah, but too much talking, not enough killing.
Yeah, because I loved the original. I thought it was awesome. It completely took me by surprise with all there's 6 different opening character selections, completely different, and then the whole story just like enraptured me. 2 I thought was awful, and then Inquisition I think I just about got out of the hinterlands, which is what everyone says to do before it gets good. And then I just gave up. I
prefer Mass Effect to Dragon Age.
Oh yeah, definitely. But even then, I didn't enjoy Andromeda either for the 5, 6 hours I played of it.
Yeah, I did 1, 2, and 3 were great. And also 1 was bad, then 2 and 3. But Andromeda was a bit like I got about halfway through, and I was like, something else came and took my attention away, and I've never gone back.
It was a buggy mess, wasn't it?
Yeah, especially at launch. It might not be so bad now. I would like to get to it again at some point. Just try and play, because I think you played it through, Ray, didn't you?
Yeah, I completed that one all through. So I loved them both. Everything, obviously not as good as the originals, but some of these never are. But I still enjoyed it. So, I loved the lore around both series, really. So I have to play it through.
Our friend Bubba Love says Dragon Age more than Inquisition. Origin, sorry, more than Inquisition. He's a right man. He's the correct man. Definitely, like I said, Origins was awesome, but after that, it kind of just right off a cliff. Hi, Bubba. So hopefully they show more on Thursday. That's not just the bare minimum teaser, and hopefully we won't have to wait too long for more information on Mass Effect. And hope, well, I'm saying hopefully.
Wow. I reckon the remastered. We'll see. That's also known for next year. When we don't know. Yeah.
I'm hoping there'd be some sort of announcement once the remaster's out. They'll either announce like a date or attach a trailer into the bundle or something that shows something off. Just on the topic of Mass Effect, have you seen the parody game coming out next year's? I can't remember what it's called now. Something like Space. I can't remember it now. It's basically a parody of Mass Effect. It looks hilarious. I'm not sure about the actual game itself, but it's basically like it's got all the characters from Mass Effect, but they're all like cartoon versions, and they're all sort of like what's it like parody? What's anthropomorphized, as it were? So
minimal effect.
That's the one. Yeah, minimal. Yeah. Minimal affect in that.
Affect, that's it.
Yeah.
Just give it quickly. Minimal affect.
Yeah, look up the trailer for that when you get a chance. Yeah, it looks like it basically kind of looks like a bit of an Adult Swim version of Mass Effect.
Oh, okay. At least you don't knew that. I might check it out later then. Definitely.
Yeah, I think it's out. I think it's supposed to be coming out early next year.
In the parody version, I want to see as a Manslayer version.
Yeah.
I like Steaks.
Stay with all that steak.
Oh, I can never. Oh, Manslayer. Check out Manslayer on YouTube. What a channel.
Yeah, gamer poop, isn't it? That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Report to the ship as soon as possible.
All right, let's move on before we get ourselves in trouble. Before we get distracted. All right, let's do one more of these topics then. So let's go with. Have you seen that the Xbox Series consoles can run PlayStation 2 games?
What?
Have you seen this?
I'm going to drop the link in chat for people.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan, you put this in here. Do you want to give us a quick rundown of the article?
Hang on 2 secs. Right, there's the
Now,
article.
immediately.
Do it now.
We're doing now. Do it now.
From this was from The Verge, wasn't it? I think it's Ian Carlos Campbell flicked up. So developers have now made it possible to emulate PS2 games on the Xbox Series X using retro architecture emulator. So this is something that the PlayStation 5, an accessor to the PlayStation 2, cannot do. Yeah, so they've just loaded up a couple of games. I was trying to see, they had God of War on there playing. Yeah, you need to spend $19 to register, and then you can run the software, and you can play a few PS2 games on your Series X, which is very strange.
Yeah, it's interesting that they've sort of worked this sort of workaround out when. Yeah, I mean the PS5 does it support, because the PS4 supported PS2 games on the store, certain games they released. So I don't know if the PS5 supports them ones as well, but this is just everything, isn't it? It's just the emulator.
It just seems like an emulator that does it. Hang on, this paragraph here. While the RetroArch is able to emulate several different consoles, the compatibility for running PlayStation 2 games using the PCSX2 core is particularly notable because of how limited Sony PlayStation 5 is when it comes to backward compatibility compared to the Xbox. The new console is natively backwards compatible with PlayStation 4 games, with some caveats obviously, and Sony currently only offers the option to play PS3 games and PS2 games using the PS Plus Now game streaming service. Yeah, it's
So basically this is like this is kind of like a Windows app basically, and it running on the Xbox, but it works, and it's not necessarily, as it says a bit further down, it's not an officially supported app by Microsoft by any means. That would be taking the piss.
Big trouble.
It's something that people were working on the PC that also works on the Xbox, thanks to the meshing of the ecosystems and all that.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see if something gets done about it, either by Sony or Microsoft.
So is it an app? I mean, you said installing software.
Yeah, so is there like you have to buy the app, I assume?
Really fair. You've got to pay for the subscription. Yeah, I believe you have to pay for the app.
Yes, it's a universal Windows application.
Okay.
So you can put your console into the developer mode and then activate it. However, there is instructions online. You can look it up if you want to.
As I say, don't endorse it.
We're not condoning it by any means, but if you fancy a bit of experimentation, you don't mind possibly cocking your console up. Why not? Eh? Especially if you really want to play God of War and PS2. Yeah.
Wouldn't be bad.
Grand Theft Auto 3. That's the king on PS2.
Oh,
this is true. What a game! What a game that was. But then it's also an Xbox as well. I'm not sure if it's backwards compatible or not, but you can play it on there definitely. Yeah, no, it's just a weird little story that you don't expect to see. I mean, you've seen people playing. I think they did like a NES emulator on the original Xbox one.
Oh yeah.
But again, that got shut down pretty quickly, as far as I remember. So wouldn't expect this one to stick around for too long.
Well, it's just interesting, mentioning how the consoles were. PlayStation was doing better performance-wise, and then all of a sudden, the Xbox starts knocking out an emulator for the PS2.
Yeah.
Just convenient piece of news that drops.
If I'm not mistaken, so I'm sure I saw some on another sort of version of this story that it also supported GameCube games. So it was PS2 and GameCube. You could play on your Xbox.
That sounds familiar, but I don't know where I saw
That
that.
would be fun.
But how do you?
Better get on the remake first.
Yeah, it'd have to be like via USB or something. I mean, you would.
Well, no,
put
because
those
it's all.
GameCube discs in there, would you?
Well, no, because if you're
No, you
emulating,
download the
you're
emulator.
downloading the ROMs of the games you already owned, of course, not of games you don't already own.
This is not illegal, don't worry.
Anyway, should we move on from that one before we get ourselves in even more trouble?
Yeah, exactly.
Dig that hole.
Yeah, just a fun
Get
little
out of this
thing.
hole. Moving on.
In terms of backwards compatibility, I've always held the like pipe dream that one day Microsoft will team up with Sega and not Sony, obviously, but maybe Nintendo and maybe like was it Atari? Yeah, all the old ones.
The old.
And just get everything on that you can't play anywhere anymore. Even if you have to buy it again, or if it's part of Game Pass or something. I'd love to be able to stick my Dreamcast disc in my Xbox and have them work. Imagine that.
Jeez.
That'd be awesome. I'll play some Burning Rangers on my Xbox, or even support. I will one day. We'll get Burning Rangers. I'll talk more about it later. But or even support like a Steam library or something like that. Even if it was like a limited one, that'd be pretty nifty.
Just need to get yourself the old TV and plug in the ports at the back.
Let's get a computer.
Yeah, but it'd be so much nicer if it was all on Xbox, wouldn't it? Imagine you access your Steam library on your Xbox. That'd be good.
I can access it on my Microsoft Windows PC.
Yeah, all right, nerd. Let's move on.
Just say it.
So yeah, so there's a couple other bits and pieces. For those that really care, there's some more dynamic backgrounds coming to the Xbox soon. They might already, are they out already? Actually,
There is a
Dropped.
couple, yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't got the new, so they've just updated it. I think it was this week or this weekend. So if you haven't seen a update on your console, force push one, you'll get the update. And there's new styles of dynamic background which look really cool.
One thing I do hope they change, and I know Jamie won't care, but if they could change the color of the notifications to a bit more colors for like achievement notifications. Because you got the standard colors, you've got this that's been there since the original Xbox One. I want more colors.
So isn't it if you change your profile to whatever color, the notification pings up that color?
Yeah.
Oh, so you want more out there.
More colors. More colors.
it would be good though to have them like you got the little diamond for the rare ones. Maybe that could pop up a different color or do some sparkles or something or rainbows.
Or a hex code.
Yeah.
Tap in the hex code and you can type in whatever color you want.
That kind of thing, yeah, where you got like a little diamond of different colors and different shades.
Yeah.
And all of it I'd never ever see because I don't have them turned on. So perfect. Look at his face just drop.
And pure.
How could you not?
Hacking up that.
This is why he never gets a party invite.
Yeah. That's because I never invite him to parties.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. All right. Anything else anyone want to bring up from news this week that they've seen perhaps? Good. No.
More
Sorted.
good, no.
Sorted. It's been a bit more of a positive week this week. We didn't start off by moaning about everything.
Yeah,
wrong.
positivity.
See, we got we're all looking forward to PlayStation 2 games and new backgrounds and control and people leaving companies to abandon their games. Okay, well that's all right. So let's. What games have we been playing this week? Daniel, let's start with you.
As I said, my mother has come to visit us. So I only managed to play really Titanfall 2 is the newest game I've touched, which was with you guys after last week's podcast.
And what a fun time that was.
That was pretty good.
Wow.
We managed to stream that as well.
One win. Yay.
Yeah, we won one. We got hammered in two though, didn't we? We literally got our backsides handed to us. But yeah, it's great to see how that game's still working. The comparisons of that, you can see what they've taken from Titanfall 2 and brought into Apex. It was just a really, really good time.
It's such a good game, especially like I know Ian is not as big a fan as the multiplayer as the first one, but it's just so.
Titanfall 1 multiplayer is so much better than Titanfall 2 multiplayer.
I like them both. I
So-
probably prefer 2 just because it's the newer one, so it's got that ever so slight improvements, I think, to my eye. But it's such a great experience.
Titanfall, yeah, and that's, I mean, the storyline for Titanfall 2 is amazing. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved it so much, but the multiplayer on Titanfall 1 is so much better, so superior. It's more fun for me.
There is a big learning curve on Titanfall 2. It is harder.
As we proved.
Yeah.
We got some
Deep end
kills.
for me. That was the first time I played it.
You're missing out, Gray. You should get back in. You should get into it more. It's such a good game. Such a good game. Once you get the hang of it as well, moving because the only thing missing from Apex really is the wall running. The Titans would be nice, but I understand why they're not in there. But it would be awesome if we could wall run in Apex as well, and then that would basically
straight away, mate. So
I'd still die straight away, but at least I could wall run for that brief moment and be like, I'm free as a bird. But never mind. Yeah, that was good. We'll have to play it again sometime soon. And maybe we'll try the first Titanfall as well. Because I think I know what you mean, Ian. I think I prefer some of the maps from Titanfall 1, especially some of the DLC ones.
oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I'm struggling to remember the exact improvements that 2 made over 1 now. So it probably isn't really that much different. It's just, like I said, it's just a newer version, which is why I prefer it. But yeah, we'll play the first one as well. Why not? What? Let's get Graham some airtime then. Graham, what have you been playing this week?
I've been doing a bit more on Overcooked, which is still tough as nails. On the DLC content is absolutely ridiculous.
So
yes,
how much
super
DLC is there included with this?
It's quite a lot.
week?
There's like 8 to 10 like different sections that you can dive into.
Okay.
Each one of them is super hard, and there's no intro into it. It's just straight away nails. So yeah, you probably have to play the main game a little bit to build up your your timings to get your rhythm going.
Yeah.
Because
Have you tried playing with like Michelle and anything?
Yeah. Because we had to get used to the whole new bits. Because I was so used to like chopping everything, and then you realise they got guillotines on this bit.
Oh
so
yes,
you stick
sorry,
the
yeah.
thing in, then you press the button to chop them, and so I completely forgot that bit. And yeah,
I think the worst thing of that one, annoying most, was the fire and the coal. Pump it up. I was like, oh, I can't say, go back, pump the fire up so I can cook. Then you start cooking, and then you run around.
Yeah, so I haven't even got to that one yet. There's so many different ones to try. But I mean, yeah, it's got value for money, but it's just so hard. Every single extra content we've played is super hard. You can get extended timers and sort of casually kind of do it, but you kind of just want to play it as it's meant to be played. But yeah. That's tough. Been playing a bit of I can't remember what it's called. Completely forgotten the Phoenix one.
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, I don't know why I completely forgot that. The amount of adverts I've seen for it everywhere.
Yeah. Well, it also changed its name only recently as well from Gods and Monsters, wasn't it? That's what it used to be called, and they changed it to Immortals Phoenix. I'm not sure which is better, but how's the game?
Yeah, it's good. It looks obviously super shiny, and I've tweaked the options to go for the graphical mode over performance, and not that it's a massive amount of difference because it all looks sort of super shiny. I think if they put more colors in, it just sort of makes it seem a lot more glamorous than what it actually is. Yeah. But the story's a bit bizarre. There's a lot of Greek mythology into it, and the accents seem to be throwing me a little bit. I assume it's supposed to be sort of Greek speaking, like English speaking with a Greek accent, but but I mean the game plays like as you expect from the makers of Assassin's Creed kind of thing. It's that kind of open world, climbing, flying around, doing things. The combat, it takes a massive amount of getting used to. They've just done weird button combinations, and like your strongest move is using sort of Hercules gauntlet to sort of pick up massive stones and lob them at the enemies. But they've made it like right bumper and Y to pick up the stone. You have to wait until it's above your head before you can throw it. But you have to hold right trigger to start aiming, and by that time you've almost already got hit and stuff. So, and that's like your strongest move.
It's a strange mechanic.
But it just takes a bit of getting used to. That's all. But I'm still early into it, and it's got a massive intro. Even the intro takes about sort of half an hour to 40 minutes to sort of get past that bit. But yeah, it's quirky enough, the story, and yeah, challenging. It's not just a breeze through, although you can tweak it into story mode to, I assume, makes it a breeze, but only you play it on that mode.
I might have to. I want to try it. You haven't played Breath of the Wild, have you?
No.
Yeah, I was going to ask how it compares because that's sort of like the obvious comparison for with its visuals and its sort of setup. But yeah, if you haven't played it, you can't compare it, really, can you?
Yeah, it does look great though.
Yeah. I've had it installed for this last week, and I keep looking at it and like, one day. I haven't had time.
The color
You
palette
literally just sit outside for an hour just to get past the intro.
Yeah, maybe this week I'll try and get into it, or maybe over the. We're coming up to a bit of a quieter time now. There's nothing big coming out now, is there? So we don't have to worry too much, and then we can get into. It's something. Yeah, it's going to be delayed, isn't it? On Tuesday it'll be delayed. Ian, what about yourself? What have you been playing this week?
Well, obviously standard Call of Duty and Apex, but apart from that, I've just started the new Madden 21.
Oh yeah,
so playing through that, getting my American football on. So I'm enjoying that at the moment. They've got this kind of. Go ahead.
That's not part of EA Access, is it?
No, picked it up. And started doing through that, and there's got this thing called Rise of the Franchise where you create your own character and you go from high school to college to an NFL.
I'm annoyed that they took out. Oh God, what was it called? The story mode. FIFA did.
Oh, the journey kind of.
Yeah, the journey version. But yeah, so I played. I think they only did it for 2 years. And
2 years. Yeah.
I enjoyed that story, but I guess it's really how do you progress?
How do you move on? Yeah, because in the NFL now, where it's like, well, what more can you do? He's won the Super Bowl. Like, what's next?
Yeah. But no, I enjoyed that.
Into John Madden.
Becomes Madden, yeah.
Football.
But yeah, so I've been doing that. So kind of Rise of the Franchise. I also started We Happy Food DLC because I played through the game ages ago. I picked up the DLC in the sale. So I'm just playing through the first one of that. Did that a bit of that today. But my gem of the week, I have to say, is I finally got around to playing What Remains of Edith Finch.
Oh, Ian. Good lad, Ian. What a game. That
is a game. That's like the storytelling of that game was like, I was always like, it's walking simulator. I'm not too sure I want to get into this. But by God, the story of this is like, yes.
It's so clever in it, the way it's all presented and the way it sort of pushes you to the next area and to the next place.
Her can explore in the house, kind of exploring everywhere, how's everyone's stories told, and the variety of the different stories. Like, God, yeah, this is. I think I played for all. I think I only missed one story, but then lucky enough at the end, they let you go back and find the stories you've missed quite easy. But yeah, God, yeah. When I was like, why have I sat on this for ages? This was really good. Like,
I very nearly bought it on the PlayStation because it was an exclusive on there for a little while. But I always, again, just time and money. I was like, I'll get to it one day. And then when it came on Xbox, that was not long after Game Pass came out, I think. And I had a free trial, so that was the only game I played basically. And
yeah, God, I was so impressed with the storytelling. Like, I can see now why people really liked it, and like it's one of the things when you think, oh, people really liked it, it's put it to the marks and stuff. You don't really want to, but then you realize, like, actually, they were right. This was actually really good storytelling. Like, it is. Can't complain.
It is just absolutely brilliant. The first thing, every time I hear that name, first thing that pops out to me is when you're rolling the fish down the hill. Into like the shark and that. It's so bizarre.
Because it's a cat.
It's like because isn't it the little girl like you read her diary or something, and she's just like writing a story, and it's just it's kind of is that you sort of see a story that sort of starts to visualize around you, and then you're playing.
Yeah, exactly. You start reading them, and that story comes to life.
Yeah,
and I really enjoyed that. Like I would say, like actually, I know it's got quite a lot of rewards and people talking about it a lot, but I can see why. Yeah, definitely, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, what
you two played it?
What a game!
I haven't touched it. I've heard about it, and I keep meaning to touch it, but
it's well worth it. It's only about 3, maybe 4 hours long.
Yeah, 2-3 hours. I think I did it one evening, so I can't. Yeah, it's not long at all.
Yeah,
so yeah, it's only a couple of hours.
My type of game.
Pushing 2.5, 3 hours pushing. But yeah, that's if you like exploring everything, reading everything slowly, doing all the stories.
Yeah. And there's an element to it of I don't know if you played Gone Home, but it's a similar sort of thing to that where you're exploring and everything's not quite what it seems, but it's not a horror game per se. It's more just like it's twisting your expectations, and sort of you walk into a room and there'll be like something sort of creepy looking, and the more you explore it, the more innocent it becomes and stuff like that. And then the more you find out about the story, the more sad and yeah, just more interesting it becomes.
Yeah, more engaged. You get more engaged. More. What's
it's
next?
just
What's going on?
It's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Well worth a check out. I think because that's on Game Pass. Then I think Gone Home was Games of Gold.
Games of Gold, yes, that was it. Gone Home with Game of Gold did that, and then what remains is Game Pass. So definitely, I'll recommend that because, by God, that was a really good fun play.
There's also elements. I don't know if you've played it, Ian, of the Stanley Parable one. Have you anyone played that game?
No, I've heard of it. I haven't touched it though. Yeah,
it's not on Game Pass yet, and I think the original version of Stanley Parable is available on Xbox now, but they're re-releasing it next year with some extra content and that. And it's similar to Edith Finch, but it's more of a comedy style game. Just absolutely brilliant. I loved it. I played it on PC, and every time it's all about making choices. So you walk up to a door, a set of doors, and you can go left or right, and the narrator's like, Stanley went through the left door. And if you go through the left door, he'll carry on the story. If you go through the right, you go, no, Stanley went through the left door. And you carry on, and he's like, well, you're not listening to me, are you? So we'll carry on down this path, but don't tell me, don't moan when it will go. And it's honestly, Edith Finch is up there, but Stanley Parable is like just there for just the cleverness of it, and just anything you think of to try, they got an answer for.
Oh, we got to get that. I should check it out.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's on Xbox, definitely on PC, and then the re-release is coming next year somewhere. Brilliant game, absolutely brilliant. Ian, we've got a viewer, a man named Kunich, I think his name is, and he asked why you haven't mentioned your favorite game this week, Language of Love.
I never played it. I went to, and I didn't. So it doesn't get a worthy mention yet, I'm afraid.
Are you sure?
Until I actually press A and go through the story again. I don't know if enough as it is.
We saw you on that morning. We loaded up saying Ian Ray is playing.
I loaded. I've played it enough times for the review on multiple accounts to kind of
farming those Chivos left, right, and centre.
Still want to grace on my account yet, but I needed it for my competition, and I realised no, I don't need it anymore. Phew. Go away with it.
Just delete it off the hard drive, and then only play it when we're not watching. Okay. So all I've been playing this week, really, I mean, the main one has been Fortnite, to be honest, because the new season has started.
What did you think of the season ending?
Rubbish, awful, waste of time. I didn't really like last. I'm not really a Marvel fan. I don't really care about any of that sort of stuff. But I like the season pass because even though I'm not really bothered about the characters, it was quite cool. Like unlocking the costumes and the cosmetics and the backpacks and all that stuff. And then I was quite excited for the final because it was me and you, Ian, when it played together, and I thought it was a waste of time. It was basically a cutscene that lasted 10-15 minutes.
Yeah,
where we barely interacted. We couldn't. I said to you, didn't I? Because there was one part where we were flying the battle bus, and there was like cross beams. It's kind of like an old school like on rail shooter.
A bit like Star Wars, where you're going through the
through the trench. Yeah,
down the
trenches.
Trench, yeah. On the
but I hit every single one of them beams. And did I die? No. Did I suffer any consequences? No. Did I kill everyone? Yes. There was no failure. There was no.
There are no consequences.
Yeah, there was nothing. It was just a cutscene basically that you barely interacted with.
Yeah.
And when it got to
and no reward as well. You thought about giving you something.
Yeah, and there was nothing for taking part either. There was no like massive XP boost or costume or
GP.
Anything. Yeah, anything else that they like to reward you with left, right, and centre. There was nothing for taking part. And then it went offline for 8 hours. So it was just a bit of a waste of time, really. But the new season's pretty cool. They mix up the map quite a lot. They've added a load of new areas and
They've got Kratos in it, haven't they? That's one of the skins you can.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
you can purchase. They've excuse me, they got a new character class called new skin class, sorry, called Video Game Legends. And
Right.
at the minute, there's only Kratos in there,
Okay.
but there's been leaks of Master Chief, and hopefully more. But so far, it's just them two.
Oh God, hope Super Mario.
But yeah,
Super.
well, that's the thing. I mean, I was
No.
surprised that Kratos was not that Kratos was in there, because I think that's probably by the by. But the fact that you can buy him on the Xbox or the Switch or the PC and play with him on there is not what I expected from Sony.
Well, yeah.
Considering you can buy it for the Xbox is a little bit weird, yeah.
Yeah.
They for them. But then again, surprising, they make it exclusive. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Sony
But then-
making something exclusive.
Then Sony are going to get some money from the purchase anyway. And then I imagine Microsoft,
No, they won't.
when Master Chief comes out, they're going to get something back from that as well. But yeah, it's just good fun. I mean, it's if you don't like Fortnite, you don't like Fortnite. It's kind of another one of those games where you've got the gamers who, oh, I can't believe you're playing a kids game. It's for kids but I like it's good fun. It's just it
You
doesn't.
enjoy playing with kids.
I enjoy playing with kids, especially. Great.
Let's not clip that. Let's
We're,
not clip that, please.
We're trying to keep ourselves out of trouble today. They told me they were.
No,
they
there's
were
time
open.
off that.
I offered them some V-Bucks and they said, no problem. What do you want?
How you got your free V-Bucks, isn't it, Jay?
Exactly. It's like, I was like, let's just spend some time together. That's all I want. I'm going to end up in a fucking jail.
That's not tight.
tight.
Well, it's a good
Yeah.
one, guys. Cheers. 6 episodes.
And podcast is certificate 18.
Hello. Hello. Honestly, I'm not. There's. Yeah. Yeah. No, I just like playing Fortnite. It's good fun. I had a few rounds on my own last night. Didn't do very well, but
Course
no,
not.
of course I didn't bloody win. I did come.
Did we win? No, we came second a couple of times, didn't we?
Thanks for me burying in the
I did
sand.
come second last night, but
I
yeah,
forgot
no,
that the day I did that. I was like, shit. I was like, oh no, I'm buried. What's going on? Oh yeah, I'm hiding.
they've taken it away for now, haven't they? Because there's an error with it or something, some sort of issue, so you can't bury yourself in the sand anymore.
Oh,
the
but look
time-
at
for
everyone's
the time
hiding.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing.
Because you couldn't shoot the sand. No one knew it was someone there. Every amount of times people ran Graham. Where is he? Graham's just there at the
He
bottom.
was like buried in the structure, wasn't he? And then he was
Yeah.
hidden underground. There's all four of them just like
Just
bouncing
running
around.
around,
All you had to
speedy
do-
building around. It's like,
All you had to do was wait for the circle, and you probably would have done them.
Yeah, but I wasn't in it. That was the problem. So I had to get out of that.
yeah,
bit.
you had to try and get, because obviously, he was blocked by the
Oh, I see.
speedy building above him, so he had to get out, chop it
I
down.
got one of them, but then there was another three. No chance.
Yeah. No, yeah, I really enjoy it. It's good fun. It's simple fun.
Space is the best.
And the songs that Ian and Pete play for us
Yeah.
are the best. And
Na, 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 na.
yeah, so hopefully this season will be a bit more of an upswing than the Marvel one. It's already better in my opinion. And then obviously with the video game characters, when they eventually announce Master Chief, maybe on Thursday with the Game Awards, and then maybe they'll bring in some other video game legends, maybe Sonic, or something from Nintendo. I saw some people wanting
Zelda.
what's the name?
Not Zelda. Link.
No, Samus Aran.
Bobsy the Bobcat.
Mr. Mushroom.
Samus. Or I'd like to see Captain Olimar, and he has a backpack full of Pikmin. He just lobs at people. That'd be awesome.
Bowser.
Bowser, yeah. I mean, I'd be so surprised to find Master Chief. And
Oh, Wario.
Mario.
Wow, cheats.
Wario could be good. I'm a Wario.
It look
I'm a
weird,
good
'cause it's going to be like adult sized, though, aren't they? So they're going to look.
Yeah,
It's
it'd have to
super
be
odd.
Waluigi,
Luigi, wouldn't it? Waluigi or Luigi.
So you can
yeah.
have the lanky legs.
Yeah, I think they want to be able to pull off as that
I
adult.
think
look.
Waluigi's not allowed in games, though, is he? After he's not been in Smash yet.
He's a trophy somewhere, I think. But yeah, that's the main one I've been playing. And other than that, I've been playing some Haven, which I'll be reviewing this week because it's really good. And that's all I'll say for now because, yeah, it's just really good. Well, again on Game Pass, well worth checking out.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not a very challenging game, but it's really well written and really interesting story to play through in that. But again, I'll get to that in the review and we'll talk about it next week. So anyone else got anything else you've been playing this week? Once we move on to the next section,
Let's move on.
let's move on. So we've had plenty of reviews going up this week. Bloody loads. Everyone starts to send them to me at once. So we've had, I'll just run down some of the ones from the other guys on the team first, and then we'll go to our ones. So we've had Landflix Odyssey from Jake. He gave it 7.7. It's basically a parody of Netflix as a platformer. So you play through, I think it's 5 different shows. So you've got one on Breaking Bad, one of Game of Thrones. It's not Netflix show necessarily, it's just shows, but that's what it's called. You really seem to enjoy that. Kronos Before the Ashes from Kane. By God, it's Kane, and he gave it a 7.8. It's basically the Revenant from the Ashes, which come out last year.
Yeah, is it
the prequel to that?
Yeah, I was going to say the prequel.
Another Souls-like game. Not my cup of tea, but he really seemed to enjoy it. Again, 7.8. He said it's tough. It's one of those. It's got a aging mechanic. Every time you die, you age another year, and then you use that to level up your skills and upgrade your perks and
wisdom and stuff.
And all that stuff. Far beyond me. That's not my cup of tea, but he seemed to enjoy it. And then the other main one that I've got, I can see here on our list here, was Fogs, which comes from Bitloom. And we played that at EGX, Graham and Ian. I don't know if you remember that. The one with the two-headed dog, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Similar to Snake Pass, wasn't it?
Sort of similar, yeah. I was actually playing it with the kids today. It's quite good fun. It's probably too challenging for the kids to play on their own.
Is it on Game Pass or Imagination?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was from Corey, and he gave it 7.5. He really enjoyed it. Obviously, it's quite a charming little game. Really, it's just a simple puzzle game again, but just there's not much to it. But it's also just fun. You're just moving through the puzzles. Nothing really holding you up. Nope. Great little game. And as I said, their reviews are up on the site now. So if you're still listening and watching, feel free to go along and give them a click and check them out and let them know what you think. You go in the comment section or on Twitter at Xbox Tavern. We've got them all up there. And how about let's go with our guys then. So I'll just try and have a quick look. Who's dropped reviews this week? Daniel, you dropped one.
I dropped
Vera
one.
Blank, Full Moon. Sorry.
Yes, Vera Blank, Full Moon. Mentioned it. Mentioned it last week. Yeah, the thumbnail for some reason got taken down because the lady had a nightie on and possibly some voluptuous assets that weren't on show. But anyway,
the tiniest cartoon tits I've ever seen.
Yeah,
got taken down.
it was ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, that's up with the new thumbnail. FYI. Yeah, it was good. I think it came out as did it come out as a 6 point something or other?
I did just have it up. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
No, 5.3.
Oh, 5.3. Okay. It's your basic Ratalaika story novel game. You're going to play it because you want achievements. It was a complete change. It wasn't the kind of atypical novel that they normally do, cartoon style, but it was okay. It was enjoyable. I got my achievements, so I was happy.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, I had a competition with a friend that I mentioned, and I won it. So thank you and thank you.
Good work.
£20.
How much would you win by?
He missed the date by a good couple of days, so I think I won by about 7,000. But the most important thing is I won £20 worth of Xbox vouchers. So I'm sitting in the plus at the moment.
Winner.
Yeah. So thank you, sir.
Happy days. All right, Grayman, I've got your next one down the list is yours. Guntastic. Do you want to give us the deets?
Yeah, I think I spoke about that one last week as well. So yeah, that was a 4-player battler, and it's super quick. Every round sort of a maximum of 25 seconds. So a round could literally go in about 5 seconds, depending on how quick you are on the draw. It's one that we played at Resd as well, and unfortunately there wasn't anyone online to sort of really sample the kind of any decent opponents other than having to play against computer AI. Definitely more fun playing with other people than with AI, as most games tend to be. But yeah, it's all right. It's a proper test of the reflexes and luck on depending on what gun drops in front of you.
Yeah.
But it's a game that's good to play with kind of friends, and it's not about how many rounds you win; it's about how many kills you get. And so you could, it's the first
Yeah, see,
one.
I didn't remember that from when we played it, but you said this. So even if you get 2 kills in the first round and someone else kills you, you still technically won the round because you got more kills.
Yeah, because he's the first one to get 10 kills, regardless of how many times you die. As long as you get more kills before you die, obviously you're going to be further up the list.
Yeah.
But that's there's no other objective. It is just literally a kill count thingy. So you can make it a higher, but you can't. There's no other objective. Like first one, like last one standing or something like that. There's no other rules.
There's no other game modes in.
So it could have done with some of those, but yeah. But the fact it's got online play, it'll be good if you can actually get some games online. But
Yeah,
I tried.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as you said in your review, it's always nice when they include that sort of thing in these sort of smaller indie games, but it doesn't help when there's only like a dozen people playing it at once. And you're going to struggle to find someone to play with.
Yeah, competition's always a problem.
Yeah, but yeah, well, maybe we'll have a go one day this week at some point, and you could show me how it's done.
Yeah, well, I did at Res, but I can show you on that as well.
I remember us playing. I don't remember who won. I'm pretty sure it wasn't me though.
No, there's literally it could be anyone's game.
Yeah. Didn't we play against the devs while we were there? Because there's only the 3 of us, wasn't it? So I'm sure one of them chipped in, and I'm pretty sure they wiped the floor with us the first round. But,
yeah,
surprise.
Yeah. Ian, you finally can talk about the one you've been quiet about for the last 3 weeks while we've been talking. Shoot One Up's DX.
Yeah.
Do you wanna drop the lowdown on us? Clearly not.
If I'm still there, hello.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I don't. Fine. Yeah. So yeah, it was a bit weird, like how it was a bit of the embargo, but it was still a good fun game. But I feel like it's remastered version of a game that came out on Windows Phone like 8-9 years ago, roughly. Okay. It's kind of weird, like it's like a shooter, a space shooter, kind of classic old school space shooter where you
shoot 'em up, innit?
Yeah, where you're moving forward, going up,
sort of
up the screen. And obviously, but then this time, it's rather than getting 1-ups and your ship dies, you start a new ship spawns. You actually get a second ship, so you can keep getting more and more ships, and then you can have up to 30, causing hell across the whole screen. And yeah, it's quite good fun. Did enjoy a bit. It could be a bit more fun if it was like online co-op.
Yeah,
especially these days when no one can go out.
You can play local co-op.
You can play local co-op, yeah. So I forced the missus to try it with me, so I could test it out, and she enjoyed it. Well, lucky enough, it's only like 20 minutes for the whole storyline, so it's not too bad. Obviously, you can lower the speed, so if you really want, you can go on hardest difficulty at 25% speed, but then you're going to be there for an hour and a bit trying to play the game.
So when you say when you got like 30 ships, on the screen, do they all fire at the same time? I assume?
Yeah, all fire at the same time, all shit, and then you can kind of slowly move them together. So if there's like a cluster of them, it fires one big beam.
Okay,
a little bit weird, but it's hard to explain. But yeah, it's good. It's still good fun. I mean, average game. Didn't really sing and dance about it. That makes sense, but it's still good fun to play for the couple of playthroughs I did.
Yeah,
and
I mean, the shoot 'em up genre is one of my favorites, and I always like to try them. So I might try and, when it's on sale one day down the line, I might try and pick it up and have a go.
Yeah, give it a go, definitely.
Yeah, and I like this sort of thing like Ikaruga and Radiant Silvergun and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, brilliant. But yeah, good. Okay, well at least you could finally talk about it a lot.
Yeah, that's why I picked it, so I can keep quiet for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So another one that's embargoed till January, and then I can.
Yeah, I was going to say you pick one out another month out, and you'll be all right. So obviously Dan's got a mobile game port from about 10 years ago, which was Fear of Full Moon. You got a mobile game port from about 8-9 years ago of Shoot One Up, and I got a Sega Saturn port from 26 years ago in Panzer Dragoon. I love the Panzer Dragoon series to a point. Panzer Dragoon Saga is one of my favorite games of all time. It kind of takes the series and moves it into an RPG style rather than a on-rail shooter. And the only reason I'm talking more about that than Panzer Dragoon because it's just a bit average, really. The original Panzer Dragoon. Zwei, which was the sequel, was much better, and Panzer Dragoon Auto on the Xbox was brilliant. Really up its game. But the original one, even back in the day, I didn't really get on with it too well because it was really simple. You basically fly in the Dragoon and you got the cursor and you paste it around the screen and you lock onto enemies. Everything's turned off. You lock onto enemies and then you let go of the button and you fire at lasers, or you can rapidly tap the button to fire your gun. And it looks really pretty now. They've really done a nice job on upgrading the visuals because obviously being a Saturn game, it's not exactly an early Saturn game, but that it's not exactly a visual showcase back in the day.
Yeah.
But it's they've really updated the visuals nicely. It's nice and colourful. Nice. It's still got a bit of you remember like the early 90s CGI where everything kind of looked like plasticine. Nothing.
Yeah, a bit like blocky.
Yeah, it's still got a bit of that at points, especially in the humans and the environment details in the cutscenes. But the Dragoon itself, and then when you're actually playing the levels, it looks brilliant. The gameplay, unfortunately, didn't quite receive the same upgrades. It's still the same. It's still hard to tell really where you're aiming. You got a cursor with kind of 4 stages. So you've got a big square which is close to you, and then smaller squares within it, which obviously get further out. And as you move it around, they move separately. So it's kind of like it kind of shows you trajectory of aiming, but it's really hard to see what's going on, especially when there's a lot of enemies attacking. And then you can also turn the camera 90 degrees. You can turn it all the way around you.
Yeah, I remember that.
If an enemy's in the corner, you've got the camera like that or like that. You can't aim it diagonally. So it's hard to aim at them. And then if you turn it, then the cursor's in the wrong place. And then when they fire at you, it's really hard to judge dodging out the way. I mean, you can destroy the projectiles coming in by shooting it, which again, it's hard enough in itself. But if you can also dodge it, but it's hard to judge the distance. So I would have liked to have seen I don't know if they pull the camera out a bit or just make it a bit easier to move around, but it was a bit too difficult to protect yourself, as it were. Which is exactly the same problem I had back in the 90s when I played it. But it's still passable fun for an hour. I mean, you can clear the story in just over an hour.
Really, that short?
Yeah. Unless you
It's
die.
an OG Saturn game.
Yeah.
Good point.
There's 7 stages. The first 5 of which end in a boss fight. 6th one is just a very brief on rails level, and then the 7th stage is a boss fight. So technically, there's only really 6 stages, and the final boss is easier than the end of level 5 boss. The end of level 5 boss kicked my ass. I took about 3 or 4 credits trying to beat him, and every time you die, you have to do the whole level again. You can't just replay the boss.
Oh.
So every time I died, I had to start again, work my way all the way back up to him, fight him, die again, and all the way back up to him again. And then the final boss, I defeated him first time in about a minute. And then I would have liked to have, honestly, piece of piss. And I would have liked to have seen either the first and the second game bundled together, or some extra sort of updated modes put into it, say, like a remix mode, or even playing the original Saturn version. I thought we might unlock that, but that was nowhere to be seen. So once you finished it, you kind of, unless you really want to go back and chase a high score, you're kind of done with it, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, that was. I appreciate it coming back because again, I'm a big Saturn fan, as Graham knows. Big Saturn fan, and I appreciate Forever Entertainment, the guys who published this. They are doing not only are they doing Panzer Dragoon, which is obviously out now, they're doing a House of Dead remake, and I really, really want them to dig into more Sega backlog, especially the Saturn titles like Burning Rangers, Sonic R, Panzer Dragoon Saga, Virtua Fighter, perhaps Sega Rally, Fighters, all these games that are sort of stuck on the Saturn. I'd love for them to get back to them, but I hope if they do, they put a bit more effort, and well, not effort's the wrong word, but a bit more thought into what comes with it, not just literally upspuff the visuals and keep the gameplay exactly the same, because the reason a lot of the titles are stuck on the Saturn is because they're not the greatest in terms of how they play compared to what we play now. Like Knights is another one, for example. I don't really like the original Knights just because of it being an original Saturn game. But if they updated it, if they re-released it now, give us some better visuals and a bit smoother gameplay, or mixed it up a bit, I think I could get quite into it. And again, as I said earlier, as I say now, and I say probably every week until it eventually, hopefully comes out, Burning Rangers would be amazing. There's a guy on Twitter doing his own sort of fan remake, and it looks bloody brilliant. But unfortunately, because it's a fan one, it's not going to get like a release or anything, which is a shame. But yeah,
I'm happy for it to be re-released, that and Sonic R, as long as they take out the music.
If
Sonic
they
R's not too bad.
If they re-release Sonic R without the music, I will literally storm Sega Europe's office with the CD in hand and be like, put this in the game. I know
I've
you
got haunting memories of that now.
Yeah, well, me and my brother loved it. We'd sit there and while we were playing, we'd sing the songs to Graham because we knew all the words. They're like the most cheesy Euro pop songs you've ever heard.
I don't want to go everybody super son.
Yeah,
Ian knows it.
Oh my
it's the
god!
fact they all knew it word for word and singing it to me like a choir. It was weird.
I still know it word for word now, Graham.
Go on, then.
Yeah, I don't
Is that
doubt
either
it for a
side of
second.
you, Graham? Were they sitting either side of you? You were the sandwich in the middle.
I've tried to repress it as much as I can.
I can
Go
still
on,
see
Jamie.
his,
Give us a
I
little
can
bit
still
of
see
rendition.
his face when we're sitting there, and he's just like,
It was worse because I sucked at it as well. So not only did I have to play again, I sucked at it to listen to them singing the bloody song the halfway through. It's like kick you in the nuts as you're walking along.
"Oh, I love it." Anyway,
Go
yeah.
on,
So
Jamie,
basically,
give us a song.
not now. Another day on another stream.
Ah.
Yeah. So basically, Panzer Dragoon Saga. Panzer Dragoon. It's nice to see it again. The art style is awesome, and I always love the Panzer Dragoon art style. And the visual upspuff they've given it is brilliant. But I just wish they'd updated the gameplay as well. Even just a little bit, or just giving us an alternate option. There's a couple of options that you can change the cursor back to the original map, but something a bit more meaty than that would have been nice. But yeah. Overall, probably worth a play if you see it on sale at some point, but I wouldn't rush out for it unless you got massive nostalgia like I have. Yeah, I know. It was. I don't know what he said, but I agree with him. All right, so let's fire through this quickly because Ian's got to go and watch the American football in a minute.
My Patriots.
So let's skip over. We've done the Game Pass stuff already. Dan, do you want to give us a quick Games of Gold rundown once more?
Yep, Raven Remastered. That's till 1st of December until 31st of December. Bleed 2, 16th of December till January 15th. Saints Row Get Out of Hell, 1st until the 15th of December. And Stacking from the 16th up until the 31st of December.
Again, not the best list in the world, but 3 games. What are you going to do?
Games, can't complain.
Game Pass, though, knocked it out of the park. That's the trouble.
Yeah, so you get Game Pass, you get controlling Game Pass, or you can play Bleed 2 with Games of Gold.
Get Out of Hell's not too bad.
Yeah, I love the Saints Row series. They're quite cool, but it's just now. Yeah, especially when they redid the other one remastered. Which was better.
I was going to say, is that the Xbox One version, or is that the 360 version?
I think it's the 360 version.
Gotta get them stacks.
Yeah.
Or get them.
Well, did you see they've started doing stacks now and achievements?
I did actually. I was well excited. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I know. So I can play Madden on the original Xbox One, and I can go to the Series X version. I go 2000 G.
Well, I tried to feign interest, Ian. I'm sorry, but I tried.
Yeah.
Gotta love them stacks. Gotta love them stacks.
Do you have to play it twice, though, or do you just get it if you load your save up?
No, you play it twice. The only one that gave you achievements before was, I think, Destiny.
Okay.
If you completed Destiny on the Xbox One, no, not the 660 version, it gave you everything. That's the only one I know so far that did that. Others, you have to play it twice. But if you enjoy the game, it's not too bad. If you don't enjoy the game, then God no.
So you played the Xbox One version of Language of Love and the Series X version of Language of Love, I assume. That's what you were doing, wasn't it? That's what you were doing.
I was testing the waters. Like, I don't want to excite Pete too much.
All right. So, anything else anyone wants to bring up for this week? Xbox related, of course. No, I think we're good there, aren't we? Really.
Next week we can discuss our game of the year.
Next week, yes, we got our article going up. In a few weeks' time, Ian's going to sort that out. I think everyone's picked Resident Evil 2. I think is that right? As they should have done for Game of the Year. Game of the Year, 2020.
No, when you sent
2021.
me that, I nearly got really angry. I was like,
He literally, because I was winding them up in the WhatsApp obviously about it, and then I sent him my old one that I did for last year's one for Resident Evil 2, and at the bottom I put, "Only joking." Here's the real
read the attachment.
and obviously he didn't get that far. He messaged me. He's like, "Yeah, I won't tell you exactly what he said, but
Yeah. Oh, right. I went the last line. Ignore me.
what a game, what a game." But yeah, that'll be going up in a few weeks' time. So
Torn between two games. I won't put two games. I'll put one game. So don't
Yeah,
worry.
only one,
Just the
not
one,
4
yeah.
or 7.
Not 4, 7, one game.
yeah, okay. I've sent mine over. I don't know if you guys have sent yours over yet.
Haven't, not yet.
No.
Get on it.
I
Get
think
on
only
it.
you've done it so far. I think
Well,
Pete
who?
might have nearly done. Oh, Jamie.
I couldn't. As soon as it popped into my head what it was, I had to get it out of the way and get my thoughts down. What a game! But yeah, you'll find out soon enough. If you made it this far, you'll find out soon enough. Right. Anything else? I think that's about it. Really, isn't it this week?
It is.
Yep.
Sorted. So we've got a few minutes before Ian's got to go. So let's wrap up real quick. Obviously, as I said at the beginning of the show, check us out on xboxtavern.com. All of our written content. YouTube.com/Xbox Tavern official. Is that right?
Yep, on
That's the
YouTube.
one on YouTube for our video reviews and archives of the podcast and streams and whatever else we put up there over the next few months. On Twitter at Xbox Tavern, and then you can follow Daniel at Chocolate Bear 80, Graham at Graham Reaper, Ian at Nutty Ray, and myself at Enaxan. Take care. Thank you very much for listening and watching. If you made it this far, be good to each other and enjoy gaming, because that's what it's there to do.
Game on.
Yeah.